Hello, it's me, Nikki, here from Sweet Teen. I'm going to show you how to make a lip jam, balm, or jelly. And here are the ingredients. First, you will need any type of jelly consistency that can melt and form and stick, kind of, like hold together. People use like petroleum jelly and Vaseline and Aquifer, but I use this kind of shea butter mixture. It's not a homemade mixture, but it smells like shea butter, so I call it a shea butter mixture. So this is the consistency. And then you will need some kind of gel, such as like glycerin and honey. I'm just using this gooey jelly type thing. This will not really loosen your gel or the consistency of this unless you use like glycerin or something watery and more jelly-like instead of like honey. And then in this case, I have this special mixture that I made that is thicker, so it'll hold all this together. But if you use like glycerin, you need to know that it will kind of loosen it and become more of like a gloss, but it won't have that gloss effect. It will just be more on the scale to glossier or like watery, kind of. Then you'll need like a Pyrex cup or any type of microwavable glass jar that has a spout, which I have. Mine just happens to have measurements, which could also be good depending on how much you want. Then you will need a teaspoon measurements. I have half a teaspoon, so I'm going to double the measurements. I couldn't find the teaspoon exactly. And for this, you'll want about 5 teaspoons. So I'm going to do about 10 of these. But I don't want mine that glossy. I want it more jelly. So I'm just going to do about 8, which is probably about the whole thing. So I can just use the whole thing. And this will just be a helper. And then for the gel that you use, you want about 3 tablespoons, depending on how big your jar is. You want it about half to 1 tablespoon bigger than your jar, because when you melt it, then it will become more packed. Then you'll need any type of oils, like olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and just like any type of oil. My oil is in a tablet. You can even use like jojoba oil and things like that. And those you can find in a tablet. You might also want a little jar just for like in case. Just in case like you want to mix something up and kind of separate it evenly and make 2 batches and things like that. I just did this to hold all my tablets. Okay. Then you'll need a spoon to scoop things out and stir. Then you'll need like a stirring wand. I just use like the back that has the stick part to stir. Then you will need some type of dye or color, mica. This is kind of a special dye that's not toxic. You can get this by itself for about like $3. But they come in packs of 4. So it's $12 for all of them. Then you'll need some kind of container. I use my classic jam jar container. I don't know if you can kind of get these anywhere. I just like have them myself. I have a ton of them and I can get more. I don't know, they call them jam jars. You can get them like the dollar store, I bet. And then some toothpicks just for like poking holes in. So let's get started. So put your 3 tablespoons in a cup. I forgot, to use a cup. I just put this in a cup myself to stir and then pour it into the Pyrex cup. But I know usually people put it straight in the Pyrex cup and start mixing everything in the Pyrex cup. But I just like doing it in a different bowl. So in a bowl, it should be clear depending on what you use. So first, you are going to start to mix in about 8 teaspoons of your gloss type color, like honey and things like that. Mine is just like a mixture. And you want to eyeball it. and then just kind of cover it. So if you see, it should be a mixture. Now be careful, depending on how old you are, because this will make a mess, so you might want like tissues or something in handy. But the only reason why is because of the gloss and items like that are similar to that we use. So it should just be like eyeballed, if you see it. Then if you want, you can start now. I kind of choose first to just do it a little bit and kind of mix the edges and get them all to the top. Kind of put it on the honey. So I'm just going to put it on a piece of scrap paper that I have. And then, it should be a little mix. You don't have to mix it fully, because you will add more oil consistency. Now you can use your oils. The toothpicks will be for poking the holes, but unless you have the oil, exactly. Now this, if you are sick, I don't recommend doing these and selling this to friends. I'm sick, and this I'm just making one jar for myself because it's for me. But I usually do sell them, but I do it under like high like safety, or like better safety, clean safety. So just like squish out your juice. All I have here. Let's put all the tablets away. Now I actually spilled some. So depending on how much you have, you can just like do that. Now first, I'm just going to stir this up and then add more tablets later on as I go, depending on how thick I want it. So just start stirring. Now depending on what you use, it should become, it should be changing colors. Unless you use glycerin, then whatever you're using, if it's clear, should stay clear. Now, you never want to add too much glycerin or really of whatever you're using, or else it'll turn into clumps. And whatever jelly you're using will turn into clumps, and inside the clumps of pockets will be your glycerin or whatever liquid you're kind of using. So, sorry. So at this state, you can start digging the holes. So just start like poking holes. This is pretty time consuming. If you see so far, it is already 9 minutes. So as I see later, I've added 2 more tablets. It has a little spot in the middle. You see right there? That's the oil that you'll use. Now if you use like olive oil and stuff, you might just want to use like half a teaspoon, because that'll be like the perfect measurement. Unless you're using like a real like oil, then you might want to go further to that. So I'm just going to start poking holes. Sorry for the wait. You can probably move up about 30 seconds to if this time is being wasted. Because I know when I watch videos, I usually just skip at these parts. But if you're watching this, thank you. I usually like watching them all do these steps to see exactly what they do. So this is why I'm not much like, this is why I bet there are some people that are just like me. I'm like watching, but I know there's some people who just like want to get to the point and stuff. So now just start mixing. So then, here is its consistency. It has become a white foamy type. No, just add any of your color, your dye, your mica. I choose between 6 drops, or about 1/8 tablespoon of mica. And dye, I don't know if it's 100% safe for your lips. Make sure it's non-toxic so that you can use it. And any type of color, really. I'm just choosing my favorite, my famous natural one that I always use. Now add as much color as you want to get the effect and the color that you would like. So this is mine. It's a nice pink fuchsia batter color. And you can get off all the like and then with your stirring stick, instead of a spoon, because all those clumps get into the spoon, just start stirring. And just kind of stir as much as you want until it's mixed well. Then in your container, you'll want to melt it for about 30 seconds. Or you can just put it in it depending on what you want. This will be more a jam. If you loosen it, if you melt it for about 10 seconds, it will become a jelly, and then you can pour it easily into this. And then if you're melting it fully until it's liquid, then it becomes a bomb when it dries. So I want this more of a bomb. I'm more into bombs. Now you want to make sure that it goes to 10-second intervals. Now, thank you for watching. I can't go much longer because I can't stop this, and this is on my computer on photo booth. But if you actually want to see the product itself turn out, you can look at my video with all my products, my product video, and it should be there. Thank you. Bye.